Hello and welcome to an update in the Sarah Boone case. And for those of you who might be new to watching trials, this is what this case is about. I don't put audio on this because in that suitcase you see right there is a guy who isn't here anymore. The lady holding the camera saying F you a lot of times to this poor man is Sarah Boone. She has become quite the internet sensation since 2020, when she was arrested in February, because she came off like she was very drunk when the body cams were pointing at her when the police arrived at her house. She claims they were having a really great day that day. They didn't do anything wrong, and they had been building puzzles, and then they wanted to play hide and seek, and he wanted her to hide him inside of that suitcase. And she went to bed and forgot he was in the suitcase, and then he suffocated. The only problem is, if you see, there's two videos where she's speaking very badly about that person, and you can see the suitcase has been flipped over. So she must have manipulated with it. But Sarah Boone has a personality that is very special, which has now cost her her eighth lawyer. Her eighth lawyer. And when you lose your eighth lawyer, there will be repercussions. We'll get into that later. But just to show you a little bit about who Sarah Boone is, this is from the police interrogation the day after they found George in the suitcase.
No. I don't have anything.
You're right.
He doesn't. Whatever that is, whatever it is.
He does.
See, this is what happens. It's not fair that you guys, just because he has those, automatically blame it on me. Like,
well, what about when you had your injuries and he gets arrested? Is that not fair?
Really? Like,
It's
really?
the exact same thing.
There have been multiple occurrences of both of them reporting the other one for spousal abuse and going to prison, and then right after they have bailed each other out of prison. So it's a long, bad relationship.
Really?
He has injuries. You have injuries. Like, what does that mean?
I don't have any injuries.
Correct.
Because he and I have not been at it with one another.
So every time that you guys fight, you both hit each other? So you should have probably gone to jail all those times that he went to jail for domestic?
Well, the one time I did. But he completely trashed the police report. Because that's nothing what happened. Because the reason why I got taken in was because my story was different than his.
As you can see, Sarah Boone is always the victim. It's never her fault. It was the police report was wrong. He lied. It wasn't Sarah Boone.
So I'm being portrayed as like this abuser.
We're not saying that he doesn't abuse you.
Absolutely.
We're not saying.
So I'm the one that's being portrayed as the abuser.
Because
I have never dealt with anything like this before. I don't know what to do, how to do it, and I always know what to do and how to do it.
She is the smartest person in the room.
This, I don't know. So I don't know, like, what's going on or, like...
We are simply trying to find out as well. Again, we got one side of the story. You're telling us we're going with what you're saying, but then we find stuff that negates what you're telling us.
And I don't even remember doing that.
Okay. You're telling us that we're assuming stuff, but what we're simply doing is telling you what we saw in the video and repeating what you told us.
I understand. Because I don't remember that.
Okay. Doesn't mean it didn't happen just because you don't remember it.
So is the texting thing something about me? Like, what's the what?
She's sitting in an interrogation room. She just was shown a video of her making fun of a guy dying in a suitcase, and she's more preoccupied with if they're texting about her. which they probably are, to try and figure out how to interrogate her. But it just shows a personality.
Texting? Oh, no, I'm texting.
No,
You guys are scaring me, so, like, I don't know, like, what to expect. I mean, I had questions of things that need to be taken care of, like, I don't.
What are your questions?
I have one last question. You realize you're the person that killed him, right?
I thought about that.
Okay, you left him in a bag when he's begging you, saying, I can't breathe, let me out, and you said, fuck you. And you got up off the couch and went upstairs and left him in that bag.
Not intentionally.
Again,
I would never do that to George.
you did.
Not intentionally. Know that.
I don't.
Know that.
You got up and you went up to bed.
Alcohol is a shitty thing. I
can totally agree with her on that part. But it became kind of an internet meme that she was not intentionally. She admits she did it. Then she says, well, I can't remember it, and I would never do it intentionally. Well, Sarah, you did. And then you taped him begging for his life with your phone. And I think that personality you just saw there, that she's always preoccupied about Sarah. She's never preoccupied about what she did, but she's afraid how it makes her look, is what have led to the ruling from yesterday that she now lost her last lawyer. They had a status hearing. She had a lawyer named Cashman, where Sarah claimed that she walked out of the meetings she had with Cashman because she didn't want to hear what she had to say, because she didn't listen to Sarah, because Sarah has all of these fans on the internet who sends her all of these things that should have been done. She mentioned she has a fan in South Korea that told her how to do a bond hearing because she didn't have a bond hearing. And I'm pretty sure there's stuff in there where you could say, well, Sarah hasn't been treated completely right. But again, Cashman advised of her efforts and time spent on the case so far, 20 hours. Cashman addresses disagreements of legal strategy, including defendants attaching importance to issues they may not be legally important. In riposte, defendant accused Cashman of lies and half-truths. This is the same MO she have had with all the lawyers she lost before. She wants constant attention. If they don't say what she want to hear, she walks out of the meeting. She doesn't want to talk to them. And then she blames them for being bad lawyers. She wanted the judge to order Cashman to be nice to her, which is absolutely crazy. But in June, Cashman moved to withdraw from this case like the other ones before her. Not all of them have withdrawn because of they had problems with Sarah, but they have conflicts. So it's Sarah is just, but as you can see, at no time has the defendant refused to accept the service of any of her 7 appointed attorneys, but she's just constantly talking about how bad lawyers they are, that they don't care about her case, that they don't want to help her. She has all of these fans who want to help her out there, and everyone is treating her badly. I'm sad to say it, but it's Sarah's fault that she lost this lawyer. And by losing this lawyer, she forfeited her right to counsel, which is a big problem. So now because she has no money, she has to go pro se, which will be an absolute disaster because Sarah Boone doesn't understand the law. Sarah Boone believes all of the people writing her, calling themselves fans, that she's so smart and she have all these rights and everyone is bad, and this will be an absolute mess. And you can see, as set forth above, defendants recalcitrant of the attorneys who were not conflicted out, Padilla, Bankovich, Hobson, and Cashman, antagonism, hostility, and attacks of professionalism on Padilla, of Bankowitz and Cashman, and personal attacks on Padilla, Bankowitz, and Cashman. Each of these attorneys was required to withdraw. So it's not that she didn't want them, but she just attacked them so much there was no other opportunity than to withdraw. So this is going to end up being an absolute crap fest. We'll all be here for it. I think this will be the next big internet thing after Alec Baldwin, because this is going to go so bad that we can't. Well, it's going to be like a car crash. You can't drive past it without looking. So it's so crazy what we are watching here. But the ruling is, as of June 26, 2024, this case has been pending 4 years, 3 months, and 5 days from the date of filing of the information. Actions speak louder than words. Although defendant's work seemingly revealed a desire to go to trial, however, as set forth herein, her actions and inability to work with court-appointed counsel are repeated over and over, allowing defendant to her 8th court-appointed attorney, her 9th attorney overall, will only serve to delay the case further and encourage defendant to persist in efforts to prevent the resolution of the case on its merits, the concept of which was first brought defendant's attention May 10, 2022. Defendant complains that Bankowitz and Hobson failed to meet and communicate, and when defendant is provided court-appointed counsel who will meet and communicate, the way and means of meeting and communicating and are unacceptable to defendant. So she is now without counsel. It's this will be absolutely crazy. You saw her demeanor in that interview. I'll say it. I'm looking forward to this case, because this is going to be Bradley Yawn and Brooks level of crazy, because Sarah doesn't understand the law. She won't accept anything the judge says to her. I'm thinking next to Fort Brooks, we can have a Fort Boone, because this woman will. Oh my God, this is going to be crazy. But we're going to tag along and see what happens.